Hello everyone. This is my video response to day 2 of the 31 Days of Tarot by Anthony, and these are in no particular order my top 5 tarot decks in 2018. So actually I'm not sure if this one I purchased in 2018, but this is one of my most used deck last year, but the rest of the other decks I did purchase last year. So yeah, so I break the rule a bit in that one. But anyway, these are not in no particular order, but this I would have to say is the topmost deck in my list in 2018. So it's funny because I discovered this deck quite late. So at the time I was looking at the Cat Black's Golden Tarot. I was looking for a deck that is that has vibrant color and some sort of more three-dimensional art than the tarot decks that I already have. And I think I almost bought the Cat Black's Golden Tarot, but for some reason the artwork in that deck, some of the artworks in that deck did not resonate well with me. So I was hesitant to buy that deck, but then I found out from a Facebook group that this deck was going to be released in late 2018. And when I look at the review and the unboxing and then the pictures on the internet, I was thinking, yes, this is exactly what I want that I didn't get in the Golden Tarot. So if you all are aware of Cat Black's 2 tarot decks, I think she published the Golden Tarot and Touchstone Tarot, and I pretty much prefer the Touchstone Tarot because of the expression of the people and because of the artwork that is much more vibrant in colors and expression than the Golden Tarot. But Touchstone Tarot, I think, was out of print, or anyway, it has become quite expensive. So I was a bit disappointed, and when I found this influence of the angels, I was thinking, well, this is like Golden Tarot and Touchstone Tarot mixed into one, so it's perfect. It's really the deck that I need. And I've been reading with this deck during the past month, and I mean in December 2018, and I mean it reads beautifully to me. I mean the court cards have such expression because they are based on real life historical figures. All the court cards are based on real life historical figures, and I mean they really represent each figure really represent the characteristic of the court card character that they represent. So yeah, it's really wonderful, and the artwork is very much Renaissance art. Sorry, I cannot spell, but there are some that well, like this one, it doesn't really I mean it doesn't really fit into the rest of the deck very well. That's one example, and another example is the Star card. I mean the Star card is more like the it's beautiful, but it's more like the 80s art style, so it doesn't go well with the rest of the deck, I believe. There are some cards that makes me feel this doesn't really look like Renaissance art, but I mean it's okay. I mean it's very minor complaints. I think like this one, it's more modern art, I think, and okay. And this star card, I mean dolphins. I mean it's not Renaissance at all. I mean, yeah. So I think this even though there are some cards that I think looks weird, I think overall this deck is really a great deck. I mean, it reads beautifully and it has so many details in one card that I don't even have to do a reversal with it. For example, I'm just showing you the amount of details in this card. In this deck. Like this High Priestess, for example. This is the sacred geometry, and you have the traditional scroll and pomegranates, and you have the field that symbolize the mystery, and the moon, which symbolize intuition. And yeah, I mean you get some of the cards are quite detailed. Like this Empress, it has flowers, fruits, produce, bunnies, so everything that symbolize abundance. And also this Five of Pentacles, how the people are kind of being seen as commodities. So these poor people are seen as commodities, and how they feel is isolated from the church, and the dismal winter scene. I mean, so much detail you can gain from the artwork in this deck. So yeah, I think this deck really it's really a good catch. And they are also I really love the guidebook as well. Like in the guidebook, I forgot to mention that for the major arcanas, they use different angels. And for the court cards, I've mentioned that they use historical figures. So for the court cards, they explain about the historical figures that they use to represent the suits. And there is explanation about the various details that you find in the artwork. So the little things that you can take into account when you are reading the card, and also the shadow meaning in addition to the direct meaning. So even though you read the deck upright, you still get the shadow meaning for each card. So I think it's really cool. And you also get a couple of spreads that you can use for your daily reading. And also this deck has 2 bonus cards, kind of a cheat sheet for minor arcana. So for beginners, you can check out the numerology and the suit, and you can mix and match them together to help you read the cards. So I think it's really cool. So I really love this deck very much. It reads very well for me, and it reads very well for others as well. Okay, so the next one, let me just put that away. Next one is the Everyday Tarot by Bridget Esselmont. I hope I spelled name right. So the reason I bought this deck is because of the travel size, the pocket size. So I brought this deck when I traveled to China for holiday, and it's really handy to carry around when you travel or when you visit a friend and you want to bring your tarot card for reading. This can come very handy. All right, sorry, that's my email voice. That's the sound of my email. So sorry. Right. Okay, so yeah, I really love this deck because of the size, and then the beautiful matte golden gilding, even though it's matte, not shiny. And I think it has worn off a bit because of the shuffling and everything. And I also love the color, the purple and golden color, which is very much BD Tarot trademark colors. And I happen to love purple and gold as well, so this really goes well with me. And I think the simplicity of this card allows me to see the interaction between different cards. It allows me to read intuitively the interaction between the cards. So for example, take this Tower and Queen of Pentacles, sorry. So you can see here how these two cards can mean that you must stay calm in the midst of trouble. You must be strong for your family, take care of your home, take care of yourself, even though your surroundings seems to fall away. You must keep you must preserve the abundance and the welfare of your home and yourself. So yeah, so these cards allow me to read intuitively, to see easily the interactions between the cards in a spread. So yeah, I think this is a really nice one as well. And the guidebook, it doesn't have much, but it does tell you the essential upright and reverse meaning of each card. Yeah, it doesn't go into too much detail, but it does give you the gist of the upright and reverse meaning. So I think that's a very compact, very handy, very practical deck. And it also comes with 2 extra cards which show 3 card spread that you can use for everyday reading. But I didn't have the cards with me. I left it in the office. So next one is the Delos Tarot. This is made in Korea, and you can find this deck in Etsy. I think it's a really good bargain because the price is also only 20 bucks, 20 something bucks. I'm not really fond of the second edition's bag, but I really like that it's reversible. And the artwork is one that attracts me to it because it's very much Rider-Waite Smith, but so much cuter. I mean, in a manga sort of way. So yeah, I really enjoy this. And these cards are also they are also simple and easy to read. So they allow me to to read the interaction between cards in a spread easily. And this deck, I would say, it kicks ass, and it's one of my go-to decks when I need some honest advice, but it's also quite gentle, so kicks your butt, but in a nice way. I think it's because of the artwork, the way the characters are depicted. So yeah, this is very much Rider-Waite-Smith, but I mean, I love the wands has head on it. I think it's very, I wouldn't say comical. It has a cartoonish feeling to it, but it's still honest and true. So yeah, I really enjoy this card. You still get the emotion and all, like in the Five of Swords earlier. See, look at those little heads in the wands. Very cute. Yeah, so I particularly love the Strength card. I don't know if I have shown you. So the Strength card is not a lion, but a kitty, big kitty. So I guess this is what I mean about the deck kicking your ass in a nice way. So with the lion, you will think of ferocious beast, but with the giant cat, it's like saying, hey, the beast inside you is just a big kitty that needs some loving. So I think that's how the Strength card here speaks to me. The beast inside you is not that scary when you are patient with it, when you are kind with it. So yeah, what's there to be afraid of? Don't let the kitty scare you. So yeah, that's how this deck speaks to me. I think it's a very nice catch. Right. And the next deck, this is also my favorite deck to read for myself and others, because despite being a feminine, very much feminine deck, I think it's very powerful because it has so much details in the artwork. Unfortunately, I don't have the deck with me here because I leave it at my parents' house, because I spend weekends at my parents' house, so I need to have some decks stocked there. So yeah, I don't know if I should do a part 2 of this video to show this deck to you, but anyway, this deck is very powerful to read with, because like for example, this Wheel of Fortune, it has so much detail, so many details, despite the simplistic, simple artwork. Like here, you have all the zodiac signs, which represent the elements. See, the water, earth elements, fire elements, and air elements, each with their own colors. I never noticed that before. I mean, this deck always surprised me at every turn. I mean, the first time I got this deck, I just read it like any other Rider-Waite-Smith clone. But the more I look into it, the more I realize that there are details that I didn't see before. Like this Wheel of Fortune, I just noticed it now, literally now. And the sun and the moon, you know, represent the seasons, all the seasons and the houses and what have you. And the lotus sign represent this lotus I also saw in the word card of this deck. It represents, I don't know, completion, spirituality, and the lush trees here represent the abundance, the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, I think this deck is very powerful even though the artwork is not really complicated and it's very feminine, but it's very powerful to read with. So yeah, this is one of my go-to decks as well. And last one is the Mystical Manga Tarot. This is also a Rider-Waite-Smith clone, and I bought this deck because I love manga. I love manga from the very beginning. So I thought that this deck will help me to, the art style will help me to connect with it more because I love manga. And it did. I mean, this deck has kicked my butt so many times. I mean, it's almost like the Delos Tarot, but it's more sassy. It's far sassier. So yeah, sometimes it will, show this to me and tells me, kicks my butt, come on, you are lazy, you give up before you fight and whatever. And it's always the feeling that I get when I read with this deck. Like, it just goes straight to the point. I mean, yeah, it's not afraid to give me the honest and unpleasant answer. So this is the deck that I go to, that I use when I need some tough love, and I have no problem reading with it. I mean, the artwork is more complicated than the other Rider-Waite-Smith clone that I have, but I have no problem reading with it. Like the word card, I think it's interesting that it has all these gears. It's like the world is rotating and it comes back to itself, and the red thread here, it represent the divine, because the same red thread you can see in the Hierophant and the Lovers card as well. So yeah, there are the artwork is so beautiful, and I think it's very coherent, and there is a continuity with this deck. Yeah, look at the Justice. This is my card for 2019, how everything is balanced, impartial, how it evokes impartiality. Sorry, my spelling is so bad. So yeah, anyway, this deck is I think it's really honest. It's tough, but yeah, but it also gives me much needed comfort when I need it. See, the red thread represent the divine. So yeah, so these are my top 5 tarot decks for 2018. All I bought last year, but this one, I think I bought this one in 2017, but I'm not very sure as well. So yeah, so I hope you enjoy this review, and thank you for watching.